The moment I touched the alien's hand, I felt the universe tilt. Her skin glowed like molten silver, veins pulsing faintly with a light I couldn't name. Around us, the battlefield lay in ruin, wreckage of ships and broken lives littering the scarred desert. Yet it wasn't the carnage that froze me, it was her gaze. It bore into me with something older than time, something that whispered, "I am choosing you." But why me? I wasn't a hero. I was just a man who hadn't run fast enough. Her name was Valira, or at least that was how her translators rendered it. I didn't know if she spoke our language or some code older than Earth itself. All I knew was that she was the last of her kind, a war mother of the Zytherians, a species humans had only glimpsed in fleeting news reports and fearful whispers. Her warriors had fallen in the void, picked off by our government's desperate countermeasures, and yet here she was, alive, bleeding, cornered, and looking at me as if the world itself depended on my next move. The sky above the desert rumbled with a storm that wasn't quite natural. Dust swirled, carrying with it fragments of shattered technology, sparks of alien energy that set the sand aflame. I dragged her behind the wreckage of a downed fighter, feeling the gravity of the moment press into my chest. This is impossible, I thought. I should be running. But something in her eyes held me there. Something demanding I stay. Why me? I whispered, almost too scared to break the silence. Her gaze didn't waver. A soft hum vibrated through the air, like a warning or perhaps a promise. Then she touched my chest. Not the way a stranger might, but as if she were confirming my pulse, my existence. In that instant, I understood that my life had just become unrecognizably bigger than I could ever imagine. But that was only the beginning. The first night we survived was hell. Not because of the injuries, though both of us bore cuts and burns, but because of the questions that refused to leave. Why had she not fled? Why had her warriors perished so completely? And most terrifying of all, what did she want from a human like me? She didn't speak of battle plans or vengeance. She spoke of the unborn, of responsibilities that were cosmic in scale. I slept little. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt her stare, silent, judging, waiting. It was on the second day that the first microhook hit. I had scavenged water from a broken transport pod when the ground shook violently. A secondary strike? Another alien squad? Instead, a shadow loomed overhead. A Zytherian cruiser drifting silently. But it wasn't coming to save her, it was hunting me. What the hell is happening? I muttered, gripping the side of the pod. Valira didn't answer. She merely extended her hand, and the air shimmered. A holographic display flickered into existence, alien glyphs twisting and turning in ways my brain strained to comprehend. Then a single word: protector. I realized she was offering something unimaginable. Her warriors, the survivors who remained, her most trusted soldiers, would follow me. Not her. Not herself, but me. The question ripped through my mind. Why me? I was just a janitor. A man who swept floors and cleaned messes in a research facility on the outskirts of Houston. I wasn't trained for war. I hadn't led anyone in my life. And yet, here was a mother of one of the galaxy's most feared armies, offering her warriors at my command. But what I saw next changed everything. Her hand pressed against mine again, and the holographic soldiers blinked into existence in a formation that defied gravity. I could see their armor, their weapons, technologies humans could barely dream of. And for the first time I understood. She trusted me more than any human could ever trust another. She saw something in me that I couldn't yet see in myself. The following week blurred into an unholy rhythm of survival and training. The warriors I now commanded were patient but relentless, their loyalty absolute. Yet they tested me, probing for weakness in ways only beings with superior intellect could. I faltered. I made mistakes. And each time Valira's eyes seemed to burn into me, not with anger but with expectation. By the middle of the second week we were ready. Or at least I thought we were. Intelligence reports indicated that the same faction that had ambushed her was preparing a full-scale assault. The humans, fearful of Zytherians even in fragments, were mobilizing too, unwilling to trust our sudden alliance. I felt a strange mix of dread and exhilaration. The moment of truth was coming, and it demanded everything. Then the rehook arrived. One of her warriors, older, a veteran named Rake, approached me in the quiet before battle. "You do not understand," he said, voice low and trembling with restrained emotion. The mother, she has hidden a truth. If you fight for her, you may unleash something the galaxy has never seen. My stomach sank. What do you mean? He hesitated, gaze flicking to Valira, who watched us silently. Her warriors are bound to her. They will follow you. But the bond is ancient, irreversible. If she dies, you may carry the responsibility for their souls. For eternity. None of us were prepared for the truth. The battle that followed was unlike anything I had imagined. The humans tried to strike first, expecting a disorganized alien survivor. They were met with precision strikes, traps I barely understood, and soldiers who fought with an almost instinctive synchronicity. I directed, commanded, and survived. Every decision felt monumental. Every movement felt fated. And through it all, Valira moved at my side. Not as a fighter, not as a queen, but as a silent presence guiding without speaking. Halfway through a twist, the lead human admiral, a man I had trusted, betrayed our position. He wanted her warriors, wanted to weaponize them, thinking he could control beings older than human memory. They attacked in full force, bombs raining down, and for a moment it seemed all hope was lost. But Valira stepped forward. Her voice, finally audible, cut through the chaos like a blade. It was musical, terrifying, commanding. She didn't fight with me. She didn't fight for me. She fought through me. Every command I had issued, every instinct I had followed, surged to impossible effectiveness. Her warriors moved as extensions of our combined will. The humans fell back broken. Yet the price was high. One of her warriors, the youngest, died in my arms. She screamed. A sound that tore at the edges of reality itself. I had never seen grief like that. And yet she turned to me afterward, her eyes softening, almost human in their expression. You saved me, she said. And now they belong to you. The revelation hit me fully. The warriors, her pride, her life's work, they were mine to lead. Not because I was strong, not because I was clever, but because I had chosen to protect her when no one else would. The galaxy, it seemed, had a strange sense of justice. In the days that followed, we rebuilt. The survivors integrated into a fragile alliance with humans who dared to trust us. Valira healed, both in body and spirit, and I learned to carry the weight of responsibility I had never sought. Her warriors, once strangers, became brothers, sisters, allies bound not by blood but by respect and choice. One night, standing atop a ridge overlooking a rebuilt city, I asked her the question that had haunted me from the beginning. Why me? Why not someone worthy of this? She looked at me, silver eyes reflecting the twin moons above. Because worthiness is not given, she said softly. It is revealed. You revealed it when you stayed. But the truth wasn't simple. There were sacrifices, lingering fears, and the ever-present tension of a universe that did not forgive weakness. And yet, for the first time in my life, I felt part of something vast and significant. Something that transcended species, worlds, and wars. The final challenge came quietly. A lone Zytherian drone, unclaimed, unaligned, drifted into orbit around Earth. Could destroy everything we had built. We had hours to act. I led the strike team, Valira and her warriors alongside humans willing to trust me. The battle was silent and lethal. Every step mattered. Every breath could mean the difference between survival and annihilation. When it was over, I stood among the wreckage of the drone, breathing heavily, feeling the pulse of countless lives intertwined with mine. Valira approached, placing her hand on my shoulder. They are yours now, she said, voice quiet but resonant. And so is this moment. I looked at the warriors, each nodding in silent acknowledgement, and then at her. I don't know if I'm ready, I admitted. You are, she replied. Because readiness is not the absence of fear. It is the courage to move forward anyway. The wind carried away the last echoes of battle, and for the first time in what felt like centuries, I allowed myself to breathe fully. I had saved her. And in doing so, she had entrusted me with a legacy far greater than any human could imagine. The sky glimmered with unfamiliar constellations, the city below whispered of hope, and Valira's warriors, my warriors, stood at my side silent, vigilant, alive. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and unknown. But I was no longer just a janitor. I was a protector, a commander, a bridge between worlds. And as I watched the twin moons rise above the horizon, I understood this truth fully. The universe had chosen me, not because I was strong, but because I had chosen to act when it mattered most. The alien mother had given me her warriors, and in doing so, she had given me everything. For the first time in my life, I felt infinite.